right, we're at Heritage High School in Newport News with high school basketball. Woodside versus Heritage in a great city showcase. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Bicaveras along with Nate Milton. Glad you're with us for varsity boys basketball. Nate, excellent rivalry.
This is one of the best rivalries in the city. Glad to be able to bring it to you folks. It's going to be a barn burner tonight.
Both teams need to get off to a good start.
I am so excited to see this right now. We're going to see which team can come out, establish a presence first, and we'll see if that can be the key to victory.
What are the keys, first of all, for visiting Woodside?
I think Woodside's got to come out here like a house of fire. They got to come out here and really press the offense, be proactive here on the enemy's court. But for the Heritage Hurricanes, I think they need to slow and steady is going to win the race. You know, they need to be methodical, work that half-court game, and really try to ground and pound these Woodside Wolverines.
We'll take a look at the lineups.
The Woodside Wolverines.
We can hear the PA announcer. Let him do his thing.
Rashawn McCall. Number 11, Miguel Boyd. And number 32, Matt Nunez. And now, introducing your Heritage Hurricanes. Number 0, Amari Lee. Number 3, Tico Dunlap. Number 5, Perez Wood. Number 23, Travell Blizzard. And number 34, Sincere Sumter. Give it up for your Heritage Hurricanes.
And, of course, for Woodside, Stephon Welsh, former Woodside player, great Arkansas player from the SEC.
That is the story. The hometown boy makes good. Former champion at Woodside, goes to college, has a good collegiate career, now comes back, giving back to the community as a coach here with Woodside, and he has brought enthusiasm back to this program.
They most definitely needed it. John Richardson, of course, the signature coach who's won state championships, now an assistant at Old Dominion.
Yeah, you know, that just is kind of the curse of having such a great program. Sometimes coaches leave for other opportunities, and Richardson was such a fixture here in Newport News. But now we're going to see if Stephon Welsh, one of his players from back in the day, can pick up the mantle and lead a new generation of Woodside Wolverines.
Signature player for Woodside, Stephon Welsh over the years, and, of course, Willie Bell for Heritage. Bruce Royal, great former coach at Woodside, of course, John Richardson, and, of course, Heritage Dennis Katufis. There's Sprout, Warren, and Golaski, respectively, the officials. So Dennis Katufis, former Denby and Heritage and Menchville coach, who coached here for so many years. And, of course, John Richardson coached at Woodside for so many years, too. Woodside is in the black, Heritage in the white.
And this is what it's all about, folks.
8-minute quarters, ready to tip it off. Boys basketball is next. Enjoy it, folks. Come along for the ride. Here's Heritage. That's Lee. Out to Woodard, number 5. Woodard goes the baseline shot. It's a miss. See the tenacity. Woodside likes that motion-type pro set offense. They use a zone defense. Strength for Woodside is the defense. Weakness is the youth. For Heritage, they like the motion offense, man defense. Strength is the perimeter play. Weakness is the post play.
Yep.
So perimeter play is the strength. Weakness is the post for Heritage. We'll see that. No score yet.
Right there you see both teams playing with an edge right now. I think they want to come out here. They know they're on TV. They see the lights. They see the cameras. They want to bring the action to the court tonight, folks.
Second matchup of the year for these teams. Mike Gardner, who also coached the Heritage girls team over the years. Settled in quite respectively as the boys coach.
Yeah, Mike Gardner's done a really good job as the boys coach, and I think it's all about what we talk about, Greg, getting that consistency, building that foundation, taking steps to become a perennial contender. And that's what we're seeing Gardner trying to build here.
See Woodside's strength right there. Number 32, Matt Nunez. He's so big in the screen. Reminds me a lot of some great former UCLA players like Bill Walton.
Yes, Nunez, he is the main option down low for the Woodside Wolverines, and I think he gives them a great option on the interior.
Still no score. 6:50 left. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, our entire crew. Glad you're with us. And I want to give a shout out to Heritage football player Timothy Payne and also Carl Chandler, the staff, Towns, Shantia Faulkner, the staff, doing a great job of the concessions for these kids and adults.
Absolutely.
Payne said he's going to Lafayette.
You know, it's not just the athletes out there on the court, Greg, but it's the officials, it's the parents, it's the concessions.
The whole community.
Everybody working together.
Woodside strikes 2-1.
Xavier Askew drawing first blood for the Wolverines.
And the jumper is off. Good rebound there by Sills. I love the numbers on Woodside's jerseys. Very clear. Same with Heritage. Great uniforms by both schools. Woo. And it's great. Excellent layup there by number 3 for the Hurricanes. Tico Dunlap.
Little Tico Dunlap, the 5'7" senior, the spark plug for this Heritage Hurricane offense. And Heritage showing that they want to run early on, Greg.
Here's the fast break. Good shot right there, the give and go by Woodard.
Benez Woodard, a junior. And again, that transition defense turning into offense. Heritage did not come to play tonight. They came to make a statement, and so far early on, we're seeing that proactive aggressiveness by the Heritage Hurricanes.
One possession at a time, 1 quarter at a time. High school basketball here in Newport News. Glad you're with us in this winter season of winter sports. Winter Olympics coming up.
Yes, they are.
In South Korea.
Tell you what, Greg,
I'll be looking over my shoulder at night for that one.
I was saying, I am not a winter sports enthusiast. Like, I like watching it on TV, but you can't get me on those slopes up there.
Yep. Ray can ski. I like the snow too.
I don't think there's any sport Mr. Price can't do. He's a man for all seasons.
Yes. 5-2, 5:24 left. Really love the energy of Dunlap.
Yeah, he brings a different kind of vibe.
He really does. I love it.
Nice give and go on the inside to Sincere Sumter.
Very sincere. Woodside going right to left. Their signature players over the years, Willie Bell, Stephon Welsh. They've won state championships before. They've had a lot of coaching changes the last several years. Welsh trying to bring continuity to the Wolverines, his alma mater. It's great to see an alumni coach in the school.
Yeah, Welsh trying to bring that stability back to the Woodside Wolverines. And if anybody can do it, it is Stephon Welsh. Not only a former champion, Greg, but like you mentioned, having that pedigree going to Arkansas, playing big-time college basketball.
He played in the SEC against Kentucky and Florida, 2 of the elite SEC teams. Even though Nolan Richardson did not coach him personally, the shadow of Richardson at Arkansas was huge. Huge when Stephon Welsh was there. Probably the signature Newport News athlete who played varsity basketball. Him and Lionel Miller that went to Tennessee. 1-2, no pun intended. And of course Anthony Solomon that played for Virginia who went to Warwick. And Elton Brown. We're looking for more of that now in the future for players to go to the ACC or the SEC.
And well, like you mentioned in our girls game, we saw 2 of the girl players over the years, Bené Holston and Adrian Motley, go to ACC schools. And I think it's just a great connection to go to that next level.
And Lakeisha Frett, who did for Georgia, who went to Phoebus.
So many great athletes over the years.
Here comes the fast break. And the shot is good. By 24, Nate. That was Pinckney.
Great job on that finger roll. Got the break and then just laid it up there nice and smooth.
Outside jumper blocked.
Ooh.
Both teams playing proactive. You're seeing ball handling issues right now early.
Yeah, you're seeing ball handling issues, but you're also seeing effective defense on both ends of the court. Right there, nice block by Logan Washington, number 5 for the Woodside Wolverines, just getting a fingertip on that ball and knocking it off course. Both teams coming out here, Greg, with a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm.
3:50 and some change left in the first quarter. Heritage with the ball in the white uniforms at home, up by 7-5. One of the great rivalries in Newport News. The two newest schools.
Number 23, Travell Blizzard. The official might want to change his name to Travel Blizzard with that walking call right there.
Not a DQ play.
Not at all.
Both these schools since the 96-97 school year. Their first year in existence. In fact, our former superintendent, Dr. Kilgore, was a principal at Woodside at one time. But to have Stephon Welsh, who learned so much under the Nolan Richardson coaching tree, is unbelievable. Newport News is lucky to have this kid as the head coach. Unbelievable talent he was, played in the SEC. We'll see if that can turn out to be some big wins too.
Yeah, and the thing with us, what Stephon Welsh brings to the table is, again, we see a little bit more ragged play here early on. Both teams trying so hard to make something happen. But I think the thing Welsh brings not only is that pedigree that you mentioned,
And that fire,
but he brings that intensity. He knows what's going on with these young men when they're out there on the court because he's been there.
Right.
He's been in their shoes. He brings that experience.
he played at the highest level there is.
Wow.
7-5 with 2:56 left
Good
in the first quarter.
It's funny, Greg, for a game that is right now 5-7, we've seen a lot of, like, I'm on the edge of my seat right now seeing these two teams go head to head.
Still in the first quarter. Nice crowd on both sides right now.
It's always been a community event when it comes to these sports here in Newport News and in Hampton Roads in general. You know, you got the community, like you mentioned, Greg, and the families and friends and neighbors and people that have gone to the schools, the alumni, just coming out here and enjoying this activity.
8-5 in favor of the Hurricanes. Woodside going right to left in the gray. And the white numerals. 3 officials out here. Jerry Sprouse, Ed Warren, Bob Glasky.
Yet another turnover by the Woodside Wolverines.
And of course, Mike Gardner was in the military himself.
We see a great shot of the bench right there.
Coach Gardner.
He just has that authority and that presence with him, Greg.
And the tenure as well. Of course, college basketball, Duke and Virginia playing very well. NBA, of course, who else but Golden State? There's Mike Gardner.
Talk about warriors, you know.
Who was in the service.
Having that military background.
In the Navy.
Of course, want to send a shout out to all our men and women in uniform watching on nnpstv.com, wherever you may be around this world. Thank you for doing what you do because it allows us the freedom to enjoy things like this wonderful basketball game and being out here in the community.
It's great for these kids to play constructive sports, too. Love it. Put the phones down and just play basketball.
This is not an app, Greg.
Or a video game.
I like on that last possession right there, Greg. I was watching Tico Dunlap just getting in his defensive stance, and you're right. There is something, a different energy, a different presence about this kid when he's out there, one of the leaders of this Heritage team.
And the key is to move without the ball.
Yep.
Timeout. We're at the George Walters Court, named after the former Ferguson basketball coach. All right, Telecom, take it away, Nate.
All right, again, talking so much about community and activities, athletics, and excellence. One of the great activities out there, if you're watching and you're a rising junior, If you're interested in TV production, call Telecom for more information on the program or to schedule a tour. 757-591-4687 is the number you call. 757-591-4687, extension 0, to get more information on this great program or to schedule a tour of the Telecom facility. I'm telling you, kids, if you're interested in production, being in front of the camera, being behind the camera, this is the program for you.
They're the cheerleaders trying to spark their team on.
They know the cameras out here tonight. They know they on primetime TV.
At Greg Bick on Twitter.
And at in the number 8 MOZAIK, at Nate Mosaic on Twitter.
What I'm impressed by Twitter the most, it's a lot of challengers.
Yes.
But they're still number one.
Twitter is still undefeated.
It's not as front and center as Facebook.
No.
Because you're not hurting anybody's feelings. With Facebook, it's like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Twitter is like, okay, cool.
There we see Twitter. Was at Greg Bick, at in the number 8 MOZAIK.
That Sports Highlight.
And everybody's on Twitter. Your favorite athlete, your favorite singer. Who knows, Greg? Maybe even the President of the United States.
No comment on that one. Wish him the best. All right, 9-5. 2:06 left here in quarter number one.
And this is a low-scoring game right now, Greg, but we have seen a lot of action, just not a lot of scoring.
No, both teams still trying to get a feel for themselves. And it's like, with all these interruptions and distractions, it's taking away the focus of their gameplay.
Yeah, you talk about the delays because of the inclement weather and school schedules being readjusted. It's going to take a while for these guys to get back on the right track and get back into that rhythm.
They were off January 1st. Then it snowed on the 4th. Then they go back to the following week.
They've had an extended break, an extended vacation, if you will, following the winter vacation.
I think everybody's saying February 1st is New Year's. Anyway, it's 9-5 with 1:47 left in the first quarter. Greg Bickavaris, Nate Milton. We're at Heritage High School in Newport News at the George Walters Court. Here come the Hurricanes. That's Amari Lee. Great job by Ray Price on the halftime feature of the girls. And Amari Lee is our spotlight for the boys' halftime.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that.
And one thing about basketball, you can see the kids' faces. Football, you really can't see the emotions because of the helmets. And that's the thing that TV is so transparent for basketball.
And that's why basketball to me is one of the great spectator sports, because you get to see the passion that these young men and women are putting out here on the court. No disrespect to football. You know how much we love football around here, but it's a different level of intensity in terms of what you can see coming through on the TV screen.
And these kids are glad to be on TV. As soon as Nate and I walked in the front door, they wanted to help us with the roster and everything. You saw it.
Yeah, they were very helpful. So shout out to both teams for their help with that. And I think, again, it's just something that becomes an event. When you see the Channel 47 truck pull up, when you see the cameras getting loaded in, when you see the lights being set up, and you see Greg and myself sitting courtside, it just amps things up to another level, and I think it gets the kids just another level of energy.
And we have the same haircut.
Hey, we look like twins today. Same shirt, same haircut.
Let's keep this going for a while.
I've got my stylish new glasses on.
Same barber?
Same barber.
Both teams are still trying to get a grasp and focus. It's been kind of topsy-turvy.
Yeah,
I think it's going to take a quarter to settle down.
And I think, you mentioned the layoffs, but also the nerves.
Yeah.
This is a big game, a big rivalry. Both teams are trying to jockey for position in the standings. They don't want to make any mistakes.
And not to mention, they played a lot of games in a row without a lot of breaks or practices because of all the snow days and holidays. Less than a minute left, 9-5. Still a low-scoring first quarter. Yep, that was a foul. Well documented. That was Jordan Boone.
Jordan Boone, number 10 for the Heritage Hurricanes, a senior, 6 foot, 190 pounds. Canes definitely want to make something happen here.
Woodside with the ball only scored 5 points in the first quarter. Somebody's working 9 to 5.
We have been stuck on 9 to 5 for a while now, Greg. And again, like we said, not a lot of points, but it seems like both teams are out here trying really hard. They're just not able to put that pumpkin in the basket.
Don't forget sports highlights. Fusion Fitness, live school board meetings, 3 of our signature shows. Great programs by the students, juniors, and seniors, working behind the scenes with the staff to make this into your living rooms. And as Greg Lesko says, Roku and Apple TV.
There we go.
I'm waiting for a peach and a pear and a banana, too.
We are in the digital age, folks.
And YouTube is big, too, as well.
YouTube is huge.
That's the most consistent video app. Final few seconds. 9 to 6. This is Lee, our halftime focus with the ball. Trying to make it a first quarter focus. He does! Wow. Amari Lee making the first quarter focus for Heritage. Yes, the spotlight, gentlemen. 11 to 6. We'll be back after this.
The Telecommunications Center is an award-winning television production facility for high school students in the Newport News Public Schools. Students can learn studio, remote production, audio operation, editing, directing, and much more. Students can also earn college credit through dual enrollment. The center has graduates working for MTV, ESPN, CNN, Entertainment Tonight, and Tyler Perry Studios. If you want to jumpstart your career in broadcasting, contact your guidance counselor or call 591-4687.
All right, back in the second quarter, Nate. And, of course, little slow first quarter start. But what you saw, Heritage kept control.
Yeah, and at the end of the first quarter, what we saw was that great move by Amari Lee. He's going to be our spotlight player at the half, folks. But Amari Lee took it upon himself, had that court awareness, and was able to go up and in with that nice move to the basket, straight to the hoop, and put some points on the board for Heritage. I want to see what Stephon Welsh and the Woodside Wolverines have now in this second quarter to counter that.
Don't forget Sports Scene now on Saturday mornings 10 to 11 on 100.1 FM, 1010 AM.
Absolutely. Sports Scene, again, an institution here in Newport News for so many years. So many great guests over the past. So many great guests to come here in 2018.
Heritage going left to right in the white uniforms, coached by Mike Gardner. Good defense there by Stephon Welsh's squad. They just have not been able to capitalize, and there is a turnover. There's that palm we've been waiting for.
And again, that transition defense moving into the transition offense, that was a great job on the defensive end, but you can't have these turnovers on the offensive side of the ball like we just saw by Woodside. That's something Stephon Welsh is going to want his guys to clean up.
Second meeting of the year for these teams. There's the high-energy gentleman, Tico Dunlop.
Wow.
And that was a miss by Blizzard.
Yet again, some good defense on the inside by the Wolverines.
Good save there. A lot of energy involved in these games. And you got to remember, like we always say, these kids start their mornings off early. It's a long day for them to play varsity basketball, especially for Woodside to travel.
It is. You know, you talk about that Friday night traffic here in Hampton Roads and the long day getting up early to go to school, and then, you know, you have a game here in the evening. You and I would have needed at least a nap or two if we were these young men keeping this schedule, Greg.
You're not kidding. Maybe 3. 11 to 6. 7 minutes left till halftime. And there's a miss. Hurricanes trying to get some tempo here. Woodside trying to counterpunch. And there's a great counterpuncher right there, but a miss by Dunlap. Still, Woodside stuck on 6 points. Nate, they need to get some offense quick.
And that's not the way you get the offense right there, Greg. Another turnover, Xavier Askew for the Wolverines. And there's the score right there.
Well, the score is actually, folks, 11 to 6, not 71 to 6. That's 11 to 6.
See, 71 to 6. That might be some kind of record.
That's like when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and LeBron both, in the big high point club there. Congratulations to LeBron. Over 30,000 points now.
LeBron James. Whether you love the LeBron or you hate LeBron.
And I talked about it. It's not going to work with Isaiah because Isaiah, he's a scoring guy.
Yeah.
Kyrie's a little bit more versatile. He just didn't get along with LeBron. But Isaiah's either shoot or not go home.
And there's no defense.
You can't be the 8th player with LeBron on the team.
You can't win without defense. And Isaiah Thomas, unfortunately, does not bring you defense.
No. And he cannot say, I want the ball.
Nope. There we go. 13-6. That's more like it.
With 6 minutes, 7 seconds left. There's our buddy Tico Dunlop, number 3. Throws it into our spotlight, Amari Lee. Number 0. You'd like? I'll take that number. And a miss. Woodside needs to capitalize on those rebounds.
Good interior defense by Woodside, but they haven't been able to score yet, Greg.
And they heard it that time. They did.
The X-Man, Xavier Askew, going in for that bucket.
Out of bounds. See if Woodside can go back-to-back here and sustain a drive. 13-8 with 5:38 left till halftime.
Like you always say, my friend, it is tougher to win on the road, and a break like that, when you start to make Woodside, when you start to force turnovers by Heritage, that could be the break Woodside needs.
A foul behind the arc. That's not what you want to give Woodside. Welsh clapping a little bit right there.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little bit of an acting job by Xavier Askew. He might have put a little extra on it, Greg.
All right, this is going to air before the Super Bowl. Predictions. Go ahead, Nate.
As much as I love the idea of Tom Brady losing, I don't see the Patriots losing. I'm a Falcons fan, so I know from experience the pain that can cause. I said the Patriots beat the Eagles by 10 points.
I agree. I think it's just too much. Foles is a good quarterback for the Eagles,
he's
but he's not a Wentz. He's not a Wentz.
He's a good backup, but he's not Carson Wentz.
And you give Belichick 2 weeks to think. Forget about it. Indoors.
Yeah, so and Tom Brady has been playing lights out lately. As much as I hate to say it, I think I'm just going to watch the Super Bowl to enjoy Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. 13-8. That's Woodard. Jumper is up. And it's good by who else? Amari Lee. Climbing up the tree.
Come on, flashlight, spotlight, neon light. Amari Lee is the man in the spotlight tonight, folks.
Well deserved. A lot of stoppage of play.
Yeah, this game it's a bit ragged, but I think, like you said, because of the layoffs and because of the delays with the weather and everything.
There's no ebb or flow to the game yet.
Right, these teams aren't quite in midseason form yet, but they're going to get there.
Because of the delays and the lack of practice time. But they're in all pretty good shape, which helps.
Yeah, they're in excellent condition. That's the one thing, particularly for Stephon Welsh. If you're going to be on his team, you're going to be in good condition.
Heritage got a double dip lead, 18-9.
That was our guy, number 3, Tico Dunlap. The spark plug, the igniter for the Heritage Hurricanes.
I always play with the Dunlop tennis racket.
Or Dunlap tires.
Yeah. He's rolling like a tire right now. Walking. Again, Sprouse, Warren, Golaski, the officials.
You got to give credit to these officials, Greg. The action is fast and furious up and down this court, but they're following. Our officials have to be in good shape, too, to keep up with this action.
You're not kidding. And the Wolverines in the lane.
Wow.
And he's hammered. And that'll be number 2 at the line, respectively, Brevard.
And this is just something you see a little bit different from the women's game. You see a little bit more of the physicality.
Intensity.
Here with the guys, yep, and particularly when you get down low on the block.
UConn and Stanford and Tennessee have dominated women's basketball over the years. And Men's basketball pretty much Kentucky, Kansas, Duke. Carolina slumping a little bit this year. Anybody's game in March Madness, that's what you got to love. But Virginia's playing great.
That's the thing, as dominant as UConn's been, they didn't win the title last year. It is anybody's game when you get into a tournament.
It was nice to see somebody else win.
Yeah.
They're the New England Patriots of college women's basketball.
Yes, and Gino Auriemma is a much more likable Bill Belichick.
He's not on his way to Cincinnati.
We can get him a hoodie for Christmas.
Lee misses. Here come the Wolverines, still only 11 points in the entire game.
Woodside's not behind because of their defense, Greg. It's just because they haven't been able to make shots until now.
Maybe you ought to coach them a little bit there.
They are well and good with Stephon Welsh. That was number 1 Sills on the shot right there for the Woodside Wolverines.
Like a rugby scrum right there.
These guys have no fear when it comes to diving on that floor and going after that ball.
And that can hurt your knees, too. 18-13, Heritage up by 5 with 3:40 left till halftime.
As good as Heritage has played, they're only up by 5, Greg. If I'm the Woodside Wolverines, I got to feel good about that.
But you got to capitalize on it, too, and make up for it. Woodside being methodical. That's Sills, and he stills it. Sills stills it.
America Sills again with a nice play, getting a screen from one of his teammates, and is able to pick and pop.
3:04 left till the end of the second quarter.
Heritage coming right back, though. There you see the man on your screen, number 0, Agent 0, Amari Lee. He is a good player, folks. Senior, 6 foot tall, 160 pounds. He is, much like we saw in the girls' game with Felicia for the Woodside Wolverines, he is the balance for the Heritage Hurricanes.
Yes, he is.
He brings that senior presence.
Good shot selection. They attack the glass. Heritage has done well in the transition. Playing their game, not the opponent. Focus and intensity. Focus on the now. While Woodside needs to focus on possession, ball control, limiting the turnovers, mistakes, and getting more bench support. They got a lot of players on the bench.
Yeah.
Both teams do. Woodside's got to move without the ball, crash the boards, be aggressive. Inside, outside play, mix it up. Focus on tonight, not the previous game. Make it a team effort.
Yeah. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday or what happens tomorrow. All that matters is tonight, folks.
Again driving. There you see number 1 right there, Sills.
Almost on cue, Sills realizing that he's got to provide a spark for the Woodside Wolverines, showing no fear going in the lane, cutting the defenders, and is able to not only get the bucket, but go to the line as well.
Breaking the razor, doing really well. But you got to make those free throws.
I've been really impressed with Sills so far. Just showing no fear, going up. Doesn't matter if he gets the bucket to go or not. He's going to take that contact and force you to react to him.
And what do you notice? Both players are on all sides are wearing pretty much the same type of shoes.
I tell you,
must be the shoes.
It's got to be the shoes, Money. It's got to be the shoes. So what you're saying, Greg, is if we wore those shoes, we could go out there and play like that.
You could. All right, sports highlights on Mondays at 7, 2, and 7, weekends at 9 a.m. on Cox Cable 47 and 517 and NPSTV.com.
And sports highlights, one of the signature programs here at Newport News over the years.
Honored by the Newport News City Council in 2016.
So many past and present local and national legends have been on the program.
So, you got to have a lot of desire here. Rotate the players, keep them fresh, avoid the foul trouble, stay in the game. You've seen right now for Woodside that Sills has picked it up a notch.
Sills right now is the man with the hot hand. There you see a great shot of the Woodside cheerleaders. Sills is the man with the hot hand, and I think that's the guy you got to ride right now if you are Coach Welsh and the Woodside Wolverines. He has found a way to penetrate that defense and really force the pressure onto the Heritage Hurricanes. So I want to see more Sills here as we wind down the first half.
Cover that weak side, block out, get the crowd involved like we said, move without the ball. Total team effort.
The steal by Logan Washington, unfortunately, wasn't able to control the ball.
No music like NBA games.
we need a DJ out here, Greg. DJ Bicaveras.
I think that's you, Nate. You were in the band. Remember you played the old Lou Smith.
Once upon a time, yes. I
love that old Lou Smith grocery store.
I was in the band.
Nate tried to bring it back, but it just didn't work.
Best laid plans, Greg.
Best donuts in the world were at Lou Smith. Nate tried to bring the band back there. We used to watch you on Saturday nights.
I'm telling you, those were the days.
Music is such a great instrument of the soul.
So many great musicians from this area, too. You know, you talk about the Wooten brothers from Denby and one of many others that have come through Newport News.
There's Lee. In trouble. Back to Dunlap. Jumper off. Good boards there by the Wolverines. Down by 4. Like I said, as sloppy as they played, they can still maybe get the lead maybe before intermission.
Yeah, that to me is the silver lining, but not that lining right there.
Number 2 held on to number 3. Number 2 for Woodside. That was Brevard holding on to Dunlap.
Yeah, Krishan Brevard holding on to Dunlap to try to prevent the fast break that was going to lead to most likely a bucket by the Heritage Hurricanes. But just like we were saying, these are the things that Woodside can't afford right now. You're trying to get back into this game. Turnovers will not help you.
All right, 2 minutes till halftime. Heritage up 21-17. And a big three-point play by number 11. Boyd.
Clutch bucket by Mikal Boyd from the corner. The deep tray bringing the Wolverines to within 1 point of the Heritage Hurricanes.
And answering it back. Number 5 for Heritage. That's Woodard trying to be like Smokey Robinson.
Vanez Woodard saying, anything you can do, I can do better.
Or Otis Redding, the great late Otis Redding.
The great soul singers from back in the day.
Or Sam Cooke. Ray Charles, Al Green. The great Nat King Cole. And Nate's favorite, Luther Vandross.
Oh, yeah, Luther Vandross had a song called Never Too Much, but for the Woodside Wolverines, you can never have too many opportunities from the free throw line because they've been cashing in at the charity stripe tonight.
One shining moment, Luther Vandross did.
Yes, one of the great sports anthems of all
Very
time.
emotional, kind of reminds you of times with your parents and watching games as a kid.
The ball is tipped, and there you are.
Very emotional song by the wonderful, late, great Luther Vandross. We need some musicians like that at the Greek Festival.
I'm telling you, there are some.
That would get the crowds there even more.
There are plenty of talented soul singers in the area, Greg.
I think we should do it, Nate. You and I should spearhead that.
Let's have a review. We could have gyros and soul music.
Yeah, why not?
Great combination. Blues and baklava.
24-22. Woodside can take the lead, Nate, on a three-point play if they make it. They don't. They go for a 2, and they tie it.
Wow.
Tie it up. 24-all.
Great job by the Wolverines to claw their way back into this contest.
Welsh coaching from the sideline. The ball's going to go out of bounds.
And here we see Woodside putting on the pressure, Heritage making mistakes.
And Woodside taking the crowd out of the game.
That's how you do it. Great hustle, great effort right now, great passion being displayed by Stephon Welsh's Woodside Wolverine.
Woodside trying to get the bench involved, so is Heritage. 12-month season. Show up and have the accountability. Get that momentum for the second half coming up. Focus on the final 20 seconds here of the second quarter. That's a foul. You need a good start in the second half. Keep in mind the postseason goals. You've worked since the fall. Forget quickly and move on. Marathon, not a sprint. Get the fans in the game for Heritage.
Yeah, you got to have a short memory if you're on one of these teams and you take a loss because, like the song goes, last night I took an L, but tonight I will bounce back. And we got to see that type of resilience from these young men. That's the next step as we're watching Sills on the line. Sills has really been one of the key players here in the second quarter for the Woodside Wolverines.
Yep, just like Lee has for Heritage.
Sills.
Nate's going to introduce the Lee Spotlight coming up here in a few seconds.
Mari Lee is our spotlight at halftime. Much like in our girls game, we had our spotlight on our camera girl / amazing basketball player out there for Woodside, Victoria Holmes. That's one of the things I love about our games, Greg. Not only we watch the action on court, but we spotlight the kids behind the game.
And there he is, Mr. Spotlight right there. Final few seconds. It'll stay Heritage ball with 6 seconds left. Woodside's up, Nate, by 2 now, and trailing most of the game.
And you can definitely sense the momentum shift. Like you said, the crowd has been taken out of this game.
They better shoot it up quick. Again, Keep an eye on that clock. You got 3 seconds left. You got to shoot it now.
Court awareness.
You got to keep an eye on focus. This is not a pickup game. Jumper. Good off the glass. UCLA style.
The bank is open.
Just watch it again. Instant replay.
He goes. Great inbound pass to number 5, Benet Woodard, the junior.
Off the glass.
With the bank. 26-23.
All right, Nate, go ahead and introduce the halftime segment.
All right, your score at the half, 26-27. The home team, the Heritage Hurricanes, on top. And now, folks, let's go to our halftime spotlight. Mr. Heritage Hurricane himself, Amari Lee. Enjoy this spotlight on Amari Lee, folks.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal.
Oops. Uh-oh. Sorry.
Get on top of it before they do. Every 24 minutes, tipped furniture or a falling TV sends an injured child to the emergency room. Preventing tip-over incidents is easy, inexpensive, and only takes 5 minutes. Learn how to secure your furniture and TVs to protect children at anchorit.gov.
decide to play basketball?
Well, I really decided to play when I was either 5 or 6 years old. That's when I started to get serious with it. Having long conversations with my dad because he was a big basketball fan, and watching my older brother play a lot.
So what position do you play?
I played a point guard and shooting guard.
And why that particular position?
Well, I'm not as tall as other people, but I do handle the ball well, and I'm able to shoot and play defense.
So do you like that position?
I do like that position.
And what is the reason you like it so much?
It's fun, it's energetic, you're the life of the team, you know? And it's usually the point guards or the shooting guards are usually the leaders of the team and the captains, and I love being in that leadership role.
Were there any other sports you thought about?
When I was younger, I actually did play football, but I stopped playing that as I got older. I was more focused on basketball.
What did you do to prepare to play basketball?
I practiced almost every day. Practiced hard with my dad, watched lots of old school highlights and new school, mixed it up and just watched and learned from professionals and college players.
So you're a senior now, so how was your freshman, sophomore, and junior year playing?
Freshman and sophomore year playing varsity, it was overwhelming. I was young and small and I didn't know how to handle it, and now as a senior I'm handling it much better. I'm more composed and I feel like I'm way better skilled.
So what are some of the physical and mental things you need to do to prepare to play the sport of basketball?
Well, you have to be confident because some days you can have really good days or really bad days. So you got to stay confident, always never lose all faith in yourself, you know.
So how do you balance your academics and athletics? You have to be able to do both.
Yeah, it's actually really hard, you know, coming home from a stressful day of practice, you have to do schoolwork, you know, but it's a fun process knowing that you're able to balance the two.
Do you have any favorite basketball players that you like?
Yeah, my favorite basketball players, they include John Wall, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry. So
what advice would you have for any kids that want to play the game?
Just work hard and be a student of the game. Be willing to learn, be open mind.
Now, I heard you have some other interests, hobbies. What are some of the things you enjoy doing?
Well, I do like playing video games, especially NBA 2K, and I love hanging out with friends and family.
So what is your plans after high school?
I would like to go to college and be able to play basketball, but I want to major in communications or broadcasting.
So now when you say broadcasting, any particular position you're interested in broadcasting?
It would be nice to actually be a TV anchor for a sports section, so that's something I'm interested in.
So how do you think your team is going to do this season overall?
I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. You know, people thought we weren't going to be as good this year, but we just continue to work hard, continue to prove people wrong.
Well, fantastic. Well, I enjoyed talking to you, and good luck in the future.
All right, thank you.
You might feel like there's too many problems in the world, or that you as a 15-year-old, 16-year-old can't really make a difference.
It's not always about you. It's not just one person. It's a group. It's a team. If we all show up together, that's what it's all about.
I was a part of helping to build what it is today.
I'm really lucky to get to be a part of that legacy.
Just that simple act that takes 5 or 10 minutes of your time is making a difference and is transforming someone else's life.
Once you get there and realize how much you can change someone's life, it's one of the best feelings in the world.
I'd do anything to convince you just to be a part of this.
You guys keep doing what you're doing, it's something special.
Get up and try something. Just try it. Just go to one event, one action team event.
It'll just make you feel so good about yourself.
Fusion Fitness with Alexis. Tune in weekdays 6:30 a.m., Mondays 7:30 a.m., 2:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m.
All right, back to some basketball here at Heritage. And the Hurricanes got that last shot toward the buzzer, and they lead it by 27-26. But we've seen Woodside trying to pick it up here in the second quarter. Of going into the third quarter.
Yeah, Heritage very fortunate to have the lead here, Greg. If not for that great shot at the end of the half by Benez Woodard going off the court with that three-pointer, I think what we're going to see here in the second half is Heritage try to reestablish itself. They like to get out and run, but unfortunately they had too many turnovers that negated that run and gun style. And for Woodside, though, Greg, for these Wolverines that you see walking back onto the court, they've got to continue that pressure because that's when the game started to turn around. When DeMarcus Sills started to score and we saw the defensive pressure kick up and ratchet up a notch, that's when Heritage was able to make mistakes and Woodside took advantage of those mistakes. So I think we're in store for a great second half, my friend.
Absolutely. This is what you play for the offseason, the summer leagues, the summer camps, the pickup games, your rivalries. This is all about focus on the task at hand.
Yep, like we've been saying all night, Greg, it's about tonight. Doesn't matter what happened yesterday, doesn't matter what might happen tomorrow. It's all about tonight, particularly when you got the lights, the camera, the action out here. Channel 47 in the building, folks watching not only in the city, but watching worldwide on nnpstv.com. I think these boys are going to come out and put on a show for us in the second half.
Very impressed by Lee, our spotlight athlete from Heritage. Great spotlight there.
Yeah, absolutely. Great piece by our student and staff production team. Amari Lee, the senior point guard, Mr. Do Everything for this Heritage team. He really provides the balance. He provides a steady hand. He's the captain. Oh, captain, my captain of this crew. And I like Lee and Dunlap. With Tico Dunlap, you got the senior that brings the energy. But with Amari Lee, you got the senior that brings the steady hand. And between the two of them, they're a great 1-2 punch in the backcourt for the Heritage Hurricane.
Bethel's had some great teams as well over the years, like coached by Craig Behorn. And, of course, some other great schools in the area as well. Denby's coached by Nicholas Chambly. We'll see them soon. Gloucester, Mike Murphy. Hampton, Eric Brown. Heritage, of course, Michael Gardner. Kickingham, Willie Goss. Menchville, the late, great Ben Moore. Still hurts to say that. Phoebus, James Daniel. Warwick, Gideon Mooring. We had him on Sports Highlights. Woodside, of course, Stephon Welsh. So many great coaches. And great history like Pop Pitts at Menchville and Dennis Katufis at Denby. Jim Harvey at Warwick. George Walters at Ferguson. Revis Conrad at Kickingham. Walter Brower at Hampton. Over the years, and the tradition rolls on.
It does. And you can see it out in evidence here on the court. Great job on that last drive to the basket by number 10 for the Hurricanes, Jordan Boone. And that's what it's all about, Greg. Athletics, academics, activities, the tradition here in Newport News.
Nunez misses. So, out there for Woodside is Sills, number 1. Number 11, Boyd. 0, Askew. Looks like number 2 at the free throw line.
Brevard.
And the miss.
If there's one weakness for Woodside, as we see number 32, Matt Nunez, checking out of the game.
And Washington goes in.
One of the big weaknesses for Woodside so far tonight, Greg, they haven't really been able to come up with those offensive rebounds to get those second chances. And if you're going to beat a Heritage Hurricane team that's so physical and likes to run and gun and go attack the lane, you got to come up with some rebounds.
And the shot is up, and it's good. And for Heritage, Woodard. Ooh. Good boards there by the Wolverines. Out there also for Heritage is Boone. Good give and go. Excellent shot right there by number 10. Boone, we just called his name.
And Travell Blizzard initially went up there with the basket, got deflected, and Boone right behind him with the score off the rebound. Excellent possession by the Heritage Hurricane.
Johnson out there for Heritage number 4, Boone 10, Mari Lee 0, Woodard number 5, and number 23 respectively, DQ the Blizzard. Travell Blizzard.
Travell Blizzard.
In the wintertime. There he is, Stephon Welsh. Played for Woodside, played for Arkansas in the SEC. Only him and Lionel Miller went to Ferguson, played for Tennessee. Very few Newport News athletes have played SEC Division I basketball. Miller played for Don DeVoe at Tennessee.
You see Coach Gardner is his opponent tonight, Greg. But, talking about Welsh, I tell you what, I think he looks like he can still go out there and get you 15 to 20
he's a trainer.
Tonight.
He's a trainer. He's in great shape. 31-28 Heritage. It's anybody's ball game.
I might need to call him about getting my 2018 body in shape.
That's it. Yeah, chief of the ROTC program as well. Former Navy man. Woodside with the ball. The nice gray uniforms on the road. Hugging the lane, it's good. Wow. Hugging the baseline, and it's good.
It was Logan Washington for the Wolverines.
A lot of spin around move there. Heritage up by 1, 31-30. With a little over 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Greg Bickavera, St. Milton, glad you're with us. We'll get to our crew in the fourth quarter. Very smooth academic athletic year for us with football, now basketball.
It's always an event when Channel 47 is in town. And again, basketball and high school athletics in general are such a part of the community, Greg. And I know in this age of social media and everybody's on their phones, people start to forget that. But there is nothing like being courtside here for a game like this between two rivals.
And showing your face and being part of the community.
Absolutely.
It's so important. See Marilyn Watkins here, the former Ferguson women's basketball coach. Warwick AD. Former Warwick AD. Charlie Peoples, longtime assistant to George Walters. Give and go is good by the Wolverines. They're up by 1. Kind of has that old Menchville-Denby basketball rivalry to it.
Absolutely. It's got that flavor. Started with that block by Logan Washington. Ended up with Sills putting it in on that give and go. Seeing some great action right now.
Very impressed by the great sportsmanship by all these kids. So a lot of the elementary school kids watching them, and the middle school, they can learn from these varsity kids. And we used to ask that always on outstanding student athletes. What advice would you give to the young kids watching in elementary and middle school who want to go to high school?
And it's part of that learning tree. It's part of the progression, and it's great to see these young men being role models to these kids out here in the community.
And nice shot right there. Falling down. Kind of like Bradley Beal for the Wizards. Number 23, respectively, the Blizzard, DQ. Travell Blizzard.
Iceman, if you
Get him
will.
a Blizzard. This is the free throw. Nate's a stickler for that.
Yeah, that has been one of my pet peeves tonight, Greg. These young men not able to take advantage of those opportunities from the charity stripe.
I like those purple shoes by Woodside and the maroon by Heritage. Good boards there by Stephon Welsh's squad. Running and gunning. We mentioned all the great varsity coaches on the peninsula this year. Of course, we do girls and boys varsity basketball games over the years. Started since the 91-92 season. Way back at Menchville High School.
With my alma mater. Menchville, of course, trying to get into the conversation when it comes to basketball, but not on this level yet.
Blizzard again.
Blizzard is taking over here in the third quarter for the Heritage Hurricanes. Woodside going to have to find some answer for Travell Blizzard.
35-32, Heritage up by 3 at home. with 4:05 left. Welsh talking to Askew.
AC Welsh instructing his young charge, Xavier Askew, trying to get these guys motivated. They've been in this game, Greg. There were points in the first half that looked like it might get out of hand, but Woodside is stuck with Heritage.
What are the keys for both these teams here with 12:05 left in the game?
I think the key for Woodside is they've got to take advantage of these offensive sets. When you get stops, when you get turnovers, when you get rebounds, you got to take advantage of it. And for Woodside opponent, Heritage tonight, I think Heritage has to continue to force the tempo. That's the one chink in the armor, if you will, that we've seen from Woodside tonight. That transition defense has not at times been the best. So I think if you're Coach Mike Gardner, you want your guys, when they get the rebound, to go hit that outlet pass and really push the tempo on these Woodside Wolverines.
Here's Sills, number 1, right in front of us. Out to Askew, and Welsh gets on him because he wants them to excel. He wants them to do better. Go beyond your own strengths.
And he's been in their shoes before, so he knows they
can relate to it. Excellent women basketball coaches too, Nate, as you know. Michelle Dean over at Bethel and James Riddick at Denby. Amy O'Neill at Gloucester. Shonda Bailey at Hampton. Lonica Talon at Heritage, of course. Mays Toomer at Kickingham. Adrian Webb at Menchville. Calvin Bell at Phoebus. Vanessa Starks at Ward. Brian Scott at Woodside, we just saw. So many great coaches, and girls and boys. Varsity basketball among the 5 Newport News schools, 4 Hampton schools, and Gloucester. We're at Heritage High School in Newport News. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton. It is the Hurricanes up by 3 with 3:15 left in the third quarter. They play 8-minute quarters in the Virginia High School League. Great audio and video by our crew.
We saw number 5, Benez Woodard, on the other end for the Heritage Hurricanes. Took a bit of a spill, but he looks to be all right.
Too much walking there. The phone book's not relevant anymore, but walking still is. It's a shame to see the phone book just sitting there with plastic on it. You see it there on the corners.
It's disheartening.
Nobody picks up the phone books. When's the last time you picked up a phone book? Do you remember? Besides recycling, the recycling bin.
Either recycling or maybe to balance out a table or something.
Remember the good old community phone book?
Now you don't need it. You're just talking to your phone. Alexa, bring me that number.
I prefer Surrey myself. All right, here comes Woodside. Down by 3.
Wow.
They cannot control the ball there. You need support always. It's like you just want to go down there isolated.
And there's number 11, Mikael Boyd, on the drive. There's a lot of contact, though, Greg, and our officials, to their credit, though.
And Mike Gardner's yelling at the ref.
They're out there letting them play.
He's hot. That's where you want to let your emotions out, though, on the athletic field.
Well, it's our officials tonight. We got a referee, Jerry Sprouse, Ed Warren, the umpire, and, of course, Bob Golaski doing a great job, trying to keep this game, keep the flow of the game going. But, you don't want to – it's an art to refereeing. You don't want to ref it too close, but you also don't want things to get too loose.
You've seen all the technical fouls in the NBA this year.
I am telling you, there is a problem with the NBA officials and the NBA players. Maybe they just need to, have a picnic and sing Kumbaya and get together.
Get Marvin Gaye and Stevie Wonder songs out there.
What's going on?
George Benson. Jumper off.
Good ball movement, though, by the Heritage Hurricane.
Nice crowd. We would encourage, and one of the reasons we do the games, of course, the main reason is to help the students and entertain the public in Newport News and the entire country and Hampton Roads, but to get the crowds more involved, to support the high schools. These are kids. Kids are people too.
Yeah, don't just come out and support when the TV trucks are here, but come out and support during the entire season, because these kids are working hard during the day. Athletics, academics, activities. Come out here and show your love for these kids that are doing good things in the community.
Like that shot right there. Nate and I both went to Newport News schools ourselves. I went to Dunbar, Newport News, and Ferguson. Nate went to Menchville.
Yep.
So we love our school system. And we don't change the names of our schools either. Jumper is off.
Heritage not getting anything to go down right now.
Jumper is off by number 3 for Woodside, respectively. That was Coleman.
Coleman trying to get things.
Not the grill.
But I like the way he took that step back and tried to get that shot to go down. Would have given the Wolverines the lead. Crucial possession right here for Heritage.
Yep, you got to take ownership like that.
Bang.
Like Woodard just did for Heritage.
Benez Woodard.
Up by 2. Big shot right there by Woodard.
Nice.
Less than a minute left. This game is flying by. Great basketball they learn away from the court, conditioning, weight room, academics, athletics, activities, proper nutrition, staying in shape too. I mean, these kids got to stay in shape as well.
And you know, you ran through the list of coaches earlier. Now,
for both men and women.
For men and women, they're not just coaches on the court, but they're also, you know, they're trainers, they're therapists in a way, they're mentors, they're educators.
Oh, no dunk there. That was a miss by Woodard. Little iron. The rim is not friendly to Heritage.
Oh, iron and kind.
Air ball there. Final 30-plus seconds. Heritage got a 2-point lead with the ball.
As far as misses go, though, that was a very entertaining miss.
Only in horseshoes. It's like the old four corners that Dean Smith used to do with Mike O'Korn and Phil Ford, Walter Davis, Tommy Lagarde, Mitch Kupchak, just like they did back for Carolina. And it works.
Wow.
And that's it. Heritage was methodical. They got a 4-point lead with 8 minutes left. It's 39-35. We'll be back after these messages. Stay tuned.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a scientist. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an engineer.
Our younger students have the right idea. Today's leading careers are involved in science, technology, engineering, and math. Newport News Public Schools has embarked on an aggressive STEM education initiative that prepares students to take full advantage of STEM opportunities in higher education and career fields. So, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Very exciting fourth quarter coming up.
I am telling you what, my friend, the AC, the cheerleaders here trying to hype up the Woodside fans in attendance, but the Heritage Hurricanes are on top in this game. Great play that ended the third quarter. You saw Amari Lee very smartly wind that clock down, waited for the last second, and then was able to pass the ball to Travell Blizzard to get that score. I like what I've seen so far from Heritage. Woodside, though, is still in this game. Stephon Welch and these Wolverines, they're still in it, Greg.
Nice crowd here. Enjoying the ball game. Ray Price seeing things tonight.
This is a community event, to be sure.
It is. It's an event when we're out here. Not just a game.
Never know who you'll see.
Might even see Nate Milton. All right, final 8 minutes left. Who wants it more, Nate? Who wants it more?
This is it.
Who's going to pound their fist on the floor?
Can Heritage defend their home court, or will Woodside make it a clean sweep for Team Wolverine tonight?
You're watching a live movie on TV, folks. Woodside in the gray with the basketball. Trying to pass it around very well. And it rolls in. Wow. They needed that.
Great job by the Woodside Wolverines taking the contact. That was number 0, Xavier Askew, who went up, got fouled, but he said, lucky for you, that's what I like, because I'm going to turn this into a potential three-point play. Xavier Askew trying to bring the Wolverines closer here.
And the shot is up, and it's off. Hurricanes with the ball, up by 2 at home. And a reverse layup is good by Blizzard.
The Blizzard man heating up here. Great job going in with the reverse, good body control going up and under. He has been a true spark plug here for the Heritage Hurricanes in the second half.
Woodside with the ball. Down by 4 on the road. Both teams chewing up some clock. 0 versus 0 there. That was Askew for Woodside, and of course Lee versus Heritage.
Yep. Xavier Askew and Amari Lee. Lee got called for the foul. Again, this is winning time here, as Reggie Miller would say. The fourth quarter, you got 6 minutes left in the game. What are you going to do with it, young man?
Well, of course, he made some great shots when he was with the Pacers. Stephon Welsh all over number 11, Boyd. Front and center.
And again, that's what, when you get Stephon Welsh as a coach, he brings, not only those credentials and that resume like we talked about, but he's been there. He knows about these end-of-game situations and the type of mentality you have to have, Greg, if you want to be a winner.
He learned from the great Nolan Richardson.
Yep.
Of course, the YouTube channel, NNPS Telecom, of course. YouTube's got their own red channel now, too.
Yes, they do. YouTube is a big-time player now when it comes to
easy access.
Television, movies, Things are moving into that digital realm. When you talk about sites like YouTube or Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, that's the next frontier that we're entering right now.
Of course, we still love Cox Cable.
We still love Cox Cable because you watch this on Cox 47, Verizon.
But a lot of those channels don't have sports, though, so it's good that you have cable's got it.
Yeah, live sports is kind of like that last barrier. That's the last thing that the streaming.
The on-demand is very important.
Yep.
Watch sports highlights on demand.
Live sports is something you just can't replicate.
At Greg Bick on Twitter.
At Greg Bick, and of course, at @8, MOZAK, at Nate Mosaic on Twitter.
Ball goes over the glass. And who's there but DQ, the Blizzard. Travell Blizzard, trying to become the player of the game.
Blizzard playing with a lot of intensity and enthusiasm right now. Just muscled his way up underneath the basket to get the rebound and the putback.
Well, they shake the Blizzard up and down, and still, it's a Blizzard, right?
That's how you know it's official.
Right.
Blizzard out here giving the Woodside Wolverines brain freeze, if you will, Greg.
That's it, Mr. Freeze. All right, the executive producer of NNPS TV doing a wonderful job, Michelle Price, who went to Menchville. Coordinating producer, executive producer of Sports Highlights, Fusion Fitness, and all these wonderful sporting events. Putting the crew together, Ray A. Price, since 1992. Doing a great job. The director, Bill Barlow, since 1993. Our wonderful engineer, Greg Lesko, who loves all these devices and who's going to get our headsets right for the final few games. And, of course, the wonderful Carl Daniels. We call him CD, proud father CD.
Our wonderful staff. I'll give you our student crew here in a little bit, folks.
Of course, Greg Lesko making the big hike from Hampton to Newport News.
Oh, always a party here when Channel 47 is in town.
It'll spice it up here for the kids. In our crew list. Take it away, Nate.
Our student crew tonight to bring you all this action. We got Derek Miracle, Brianna Harrison, Brandon Nault, Iron Tyson Odette, DC Darren Cooper, the X-Man Xavier Davis, Colin Don't Call Me Biggie Smalls, AA Alexis Alexander, Gabe Odachowski, and of course, Jason Hoyle. Shout out to all of our student crew tonight, folks. These are 11th and 12th graders bringing you this action on the screen. Great job to all of our staff and student crew, of course. Ray Price, Greg Lesko, Bill Barlow, the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart.
And you and I love that Ric Flair documentary, too.
Oh, my goodness. That was one of the best documentaries in
And we saw it at TNA about 4 years ago.
And the world of wrestling is something that is not just contained to wrestling fans.
XFL's coming back.
The XFL is coming
I don't know
back
about
in
that,
2020. We'll see if Vince McMahon can make it right this time, because the last time it
1 year.
it was one and done.
All right, 43-37 is the score. You see the Woodside cheerleaders respectively. 6-point lead for Heritage at home. Referees doing a good job. Sprouse, Warren, Gillespie. We'll have at least 3 prep games for you in basketball. Hard to believe next fall will be our 29th year of football.
Yeah. Interesting footnote on the XFL. Robert Hunt from Menchville went to UVA, played in the XFL at one season, and I'm sure he's got some great XFL memories to share.
Or maybe not.
Or maybe not.
And we've had Arena Football League too. Bruce Smith had it here. Bruce Smith and
had the UFL.
Yep. In fact, the Redskins coach Gruden was going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
But now you got him and his brother both coaching the NFL.
Yes, John Gruden as well as Jay, both NFL head coaches.
Like the Harbaughs were the Ravens and 49ers a while back. All right. 5:10 left in the game. Got to avoid those sloppy plays here. Button up. You got to button up here. Who wants it more? Heritage right now does. They got a 6-point lead with the ball. And they're going into, looks like, the 4 corners again that Dean Smith used to do.
Yep.
With the great Phil Ford and Walter Davis.
Woodside's got to be smart here, Greg. They got to be aggressive, but they don't want to foul.
Heritage going into the 4 corners. Yep, taking their time, chewing the clock up. And they've got a 6-point lead with 4:30 left. But that's when you learn the fundamentals of basketball when Dean Smith was coaching before the shot clock a lot of times.
Yeah, and Mike Gardner certainly, a student of the game, knows about that old school type of offense, and he's going to take advantage of it when it suits his team.
And the public is watching on TV. They see it. It's a showcase event for these fine 2 schools. Great student athletes, great principals. Like Nate said, it's a community event.
Absolutely. You're watching on Cox 47, Verizon Fios 17, and of course, NNPSTV.com from Boston to Boise, Fargo to Fresno, Philadelphia to Finland, and all points in between. Thank you for watching. And again, shout out to our men and women in uniform, Greg, that are out there sacrificing and doing what they can to protect our freedom so we can bring you games like this.
Hampton Road Spell Sports, NNPSTV.com. Tweet us at Greg Big.
And at @8 MOZAIK at Nate Mosaic.
Full court pressure defense by Woodside.
Ooh, dangerous pass.
Heritage still holding on to a 6-point lead. And they're going back to the 4 corners. They go for the baseline shot. It's up and it's good. Number 14.
Eric Miller, the junior, wide open.
Miller makes it. That was a big shot there by Miller as well. And of course, Woodside trying to counterpunch.
And that's what it's all about, Greg, fighting till the very end. And that's something Stephon Welsh, I'm sure, has implemented with this team. Win or lose, they're not going to give up on you. They're not going to quit.
The second time they played this year. Trying to even the series. So out there for Woodside. Got Nunez and number 5, Washington. Shot is up, and it's good.
Got the shooter's roll.
By Sills. And Askew's out there.
And he's mentioning, Greg, the last time these two teams
And
played.
here comes Boyd.
Boyd's in the game. The last time these two teams played, it was an 8-point victory for the Woodside Wolverines. Heritage wanting that revenge.
And Brevard's out there, too. Heritage, of course. Woodard. Boone. Lee. Blizzard. Wow. Little scrum there. The give and go. Yes. Woo. Woodard connects.
Who else? Finesse Woodard. The trifecta of Lee, Woodard, and Blizzard, to me, those have been the key players for Heritage tonight, Greg.
What to do with the players of the game first for Woodside, then for Heritage?
For Woodside, you got a lot of qualified players, but I think I might have to lean towards DeMarcus Sills. Sills has been the most consistent player for the Wolverines tonight. And then, of course, for the Heritage Hurricanes, it should be no surprise he was our spotlight player at the half. Amari Lee, our player of the game. But I also want to give, again, a shout-out to Blizzard and Woodard, who have definitely –
And Dunlop,
who have complimented him. And I think that's the difference. We've seen 3 or 4 good players working together. That teamwork by the Heritage Hurricanes, it's tough to beat when they get going.
Too aggressive, 3:07 left. Nate and I feeling some raindrops in here.
Somebody let open that retractable roof.
10-point lead now for Heritage. Very comfortable lead. Now the clock is a factor. Fatigue is a factor.
It definitely is, my friend.
Jumper off. Now Welsh's team is going to have to go for some threes here and get some steals. Maybe foul, too.
10-point lead for the Heritage Hurricanes. And this
layup is off.
Woodside,
but it's give and go is good. Firing up the bench. And a steal. Wow. High energy offense there by Heritage.
Good hustle by who else, Greg? Amari Lee going in there, making the play. Heritage wants to win this game. Heritage wants to send the home crowd home happy. They want to avenge the loss that the girls team took earlier.
Yep, it's hard to win on the road, but great sportsmanship by both these schools. Great rivalry. And the ball comes right back to Nate and I.
I'm in the game.
Nate's on the ball a lot tonight.
I'm telling you, I'm like the sixth man up in here.
Like Dr. J.
Anybody watching, you challenge me on this court, you can get these skills.
Nate giving the ball the lucky touch.
Hey, I just gave him some good luck right there.
Like the lottery.
Maybe I can be an assistant coach.
Nate, Mega Million. 2:26 left. 50-40. All Heritage.
Xavier Askew, the beneficiary of that play. Looks like Heritage is going to come away with the win tonight, Greg, but Woodside, they got nothing to hang their head
about. A lot of heart, a
tonight.
lot of hustle.
A lot of heart.
It's a long season, so you're going to conserve that energy, but each game is like a one-and-done, survive and advance, kind of like its own winter madness before March Madness.
These are the building blocks to the, you don't start and wake up and become a championship team. You got to build and go through the process.
Yep, these are community events. 2:20 left. Woodside needs to make something happen now.
Nice handles on number 10, Jordan Boone.
Like Tayo Cruz says, let's go. The great Tayo Cruz.
I'm telling you, it might be time to strike up the band, Greg, because I think this one, wow.
Big time foul.
Physicality.
You got to watch those fouls. Celebrity row here on the table here, huh, Nate?
That might be a little bit of a frustration foul right there by number 11, Mikael Boyd. Things kind of getting out of hand. Let's take a look at the replay, Greg.
Again, I want to thank Heritage for the great hospitality tonight. Excellent school.
It's right
Woodside
here
as well.
Bang! Just a little bit of a frustration foul. Got a lot of body on that particular play right there. Understandable, these young men came out here. They played a hard-fought game, but unfortunately for the Woodside Wolverines and their fans, it is not going to be their night.
Not tonight. But it's not over yet. 1:56 left in the game, respectively. And it's good. By number 10. Boom. Here comes Woodside. Dangerous pass. In the paint. Jump ball. And Heritage gets it. And that pretty much is a checkmate right there.
Sealed the deal.
That was it. But again, Heritage is still going to the glass aggressive.
Yeah.
You got to watch those. This can be concussions when your head hits the floor.
And Benez Woodard, the right there, took that hit. You don't want to see, anything bad happen to the kids. Looks like coming up walking a little bit slow with that knee. And this is the part of the game where you don't want to see kids go out there and just start fouling out of frustration. You don't want to see things like that take place.
It's only one game.
Just one game. And you've beaten this team before, so you know you can beat them. It just wasn't your night tonight. So hard-fought game by both teams, but Woodside is going to walk away with the L. They're going to have to hold the L tonight, folks. AC number 4, Tyree Johnson, another senior player for Heritage at the charity stripe.
With 1:32 left. Still giving Woodside an opportunity when you miss those free throws.
Yeah, it's not probable or even possible that they'll come back, but there's always a chance. There's always a chance.
Tend to see a lot of fouls the last minute or so.
But they have to score here to have any shot at coming back.
And quick, very quick. There's no tomorrow for this game. Nice shot off the glass. Might have been the best play of the game.
Nice job.
By 0, that was Askew.
Xavier Askew doing his best Childish Gambino impression, telling him to stay woke.
Heritage bringing it out. We'll see what Welsh's strategy will be here in the final 68 seconds with his team down by 9.
You got a foul.
He's sitting down. Mostly he's been sitting down all night.
I think Stephon Welsh, realizes that there's still a slight possibility that they could get back into this game, but for all intents and purposes, it's a done deal. There you see Stephon Welsh. Still coaching to the very end, though.
Yep. And the ball's going right back to Nate again.
I was ready. I had the ice chill ready, Greg, from downtown.
And they're not fouling the final 50 seconds at least, but until that play by number 1, and that was Sills fouling. So one is casual and Welsh with a polo shirt, Mike Gardner with a suit.
And again, coaches, there you see Coach Gardner. 2 generations of coaches, but both great men that are trying to instill a work ethic and a sense of responsibility in their young team.
He's sustained. It wasn't easy at first for him, but he's maintained very well with the girls and the boys.
Yeah.
.38 seconds left till this ball game is over. 52-43. Been a great start to our basketball season.
Absolutely.
Great doubleheader.
Couldn't ask for a better doubleheader, a better rivalry to kick off our 2018 basketball season here on Channel 47 than Heritage and Woodside. Great rivalry, great effort, great hustle, and great sportsmanship for the most part for both of these teams, the guys and the girls.
Yep, they're having fun. That's the main thing. Got to have fun.
Got to have fun, and it's all about coming out here and representing yourself, but also representing that name right there on the front of the jersey. That's what high school sports is all about, folks, and you got to love it.
And with basketball, the difference between that and football, you have a whole week to think about it. Basketball, you play so many games a week, you really can't think about it.
Got to keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, football's too much time sometimes. So they'll even the series, Nate.
Time winding down. Almost a steal right there by Boyd. We're going to get another trip to the free throw line, but it's pretty much academic right now, my friend.
Yep, 52-45 with 11 seconds left. Let the best team win.
Yes. And tonight, that best team was the Heritage Hurricanes men's team. I think, we saw two teams come out here, played hard, played fast, played aggressive, but in the end, Heritage was able to defend home court. They were able to protect their house.
And they did. You got to win at home. This will help you for tournament play, too.
Absolutely. And both of these teams still very much in the thick of things when it comes to postseason play.
And that's a puzzle, to say the least. It's called a VHSL puzzle.
I think you need a degree just to figure out the postseason setup.
It was simple, just the Peninsula District Tournament. But no, not anymore. It's complicated.
That's like advanced geometry.
Heck, math analysis or calculus.
You need an analytics department just to figure it out.
And Woodside trying to get their final shot up. 53-45 with 0.6 seconds left. No good. All right, well, and the thing about that is, and we'll get to that on the post-game show, is Woodside got off to a slow start. Yeah. They try to make up for it in 3 quarters.
Yeah, there you see our score, folks. It's like a sprinter. If you come out of the blocks late, it's that much harder to catch up.
All right, Heritage wins it by 8. We'll wrap it up after this.
Serving the community can have a big impact on society. Everyone loves when someone takes time out of their day to spend time, either just hanging out or helping out. There are many different people to serve, from kids to the elderly, the homeless to your next door neighbor. And the best part about serving is that it spreads. So take time to serve someone else, to serve your community, and to do your part.
All right, we were treated to a nice treat here tonight. Heritage wins at 53-45 at home. Greg Picaveras, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. It was a total team effort by Heritage, and they played consistent enough, not great, for 4 quarters.
That's right. What we saw tonight, my friend, was heart and determination and passion on display by both teams. But in the end, Heritage just had a little bit more left in the tank, and they were able to defend here at home court.
They evened the series, but better yet, both teams can take this game and learn from it.
Yeah, it's a learning experience. Both teams started off kind of slow, and we saw Stephon Welsh and Mike Gardner have to instruct their teams and make adjustments at halftime. But in the end, like I said, Greg, it was about having that last gear, and Heritage was able to kick into that last gear, my friend.
All right, and they did, and they win it by 8, 53-45 at home over their arch rival, the Woodside Wolverines. For Ray Price, Nate Milton, I'm Greg Picaveras. We'll talk to you soon.